Hello, everyone. Good evening. How are you today? My name is Publio. I'm going to sing a couple of songs, preparing our environment, our heart for the Spiritist talk tonight. So, welcome to our page. I'm going to sing the first song called Vibrate. When life lends a hand, it's time to open up your heart. It is time to love one another. It's time to take part. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Now, song to Mother Zephyrina. Source of love that radiates, pouring out power, nights, support and comfort, support and comfort, cascades from down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in our door. The solution lies in our door. Oh, my Mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessing. Make your small son a good Christian. Make your small son a good Christians. Now a song called Workers of the Last Hour. We are free to sow, but the harvest is never late. Time flies and there's no turning back. Let's go planting, the land is great. We are all called to. Let's get started, let's get started now. Let's seize this special chance. Workers of the last hour, Jesus Christ is light. Brother, friend, he announced it. For the time they console. Now we have in hands a spirit is love. In Jesus Christ we have a model of love, peace. We have learned alongside him that the Christian never gets tired. We are called to. Let's get it started. Let's get it started now. Let's seize this special chance. Workers of the last hour, Jesus Christ is light. Brother, friend, he announced it for all the time. The Consoler. Now we have in hands his spirit is love. His spirit is love. Now a song called Good Old Man. Blue crystal eyes, color of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on their suffering, live in joy or in pain. Snow eyes, color of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy or in pain. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the good, receive our prayers and also our heart. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the light, place our pain at the feet of Jesus Christ. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the good, receive our prayers and also our heart. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the light, place our pain at the feet of Jesus Christ. Now, a song that really calmed me down. If I close my eyes to pray, I heard the sound of the sea far away. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, his arms I sway. Body harmonizes how well done in the hay. Music lifts his spirits in sweet ballet. Nature's love, a constant giveaway. In joy, in peace, my heart finds its way. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, his arms I sway. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. And the last song is called Love in Action. Jesus, here I am, my knees on the floor, to say thank you, my Lord, the lights that come through this door. Your love is the key to change the entire world. Using these chains wisely, live in peace and harmony. Now I understand, helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all this transformation, we just have to put love in action.
Welcome to our Spiritist talk. Thank you, Publio, for this beautiful preparation. Thank you, Marceli, for working in the backstage. And before we start, as usual, a few announcements. We ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place if it is possible. Actually, I need to put my phone also in silent mode. There we go. In our meeting, we'll have a 30 minutes presentation followed by Q&A. And after the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with water to be magnetized. Our meeting is also retransmitted today by Continental Concafras Americas through their Facebook and also every Wednesday at 8 p.m. by Kardec Radio through their Facebook and YouTube. And for those of you who want to know more about Spiritism, Get to Know Spiritism is a free and online course that happens every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. Eastern. And new classes started September 7, but you can still join us. The registration link will be found or can be found in our chat. Contact us if you have any question. And we also offer the virtual live gospel at home. The gospel at home is an effective support for you and your family's spiritual harmony. We will motivate and guide you in establishing and maintaining the gospel at home study meetings. By posting in the chat, you can request it. You can request it. Please let us know. And you are welcome to include your or someone else's name in our list of vibrations, of positive vibrations. The person you indicate will be assisted by good spirits to provide healing energy and strengthen goodwill. The link can also be found in our chat. And the topic of today's meeting will be Spiritism, from Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 1, I have not come to destroy the law, items 5 to 8, which will be facilitated by our dear brother Lucas, also from London, Ontario. Everyone is welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and they will be addressed at the end of the talk. And now it's time to invite our brother Lucas, who will also be doing our opening prayer. Welcome, my friend.
Hello,
How
good
are
evening,
you?
Rodrigo. Hi, thank you so much for having me here tonight once again.
We are happy to have you here.
Yeah, I'm so happy. Thank you, Marceli and Publi, for this a new opportunity to discuss the gospel of Jesus. All
Wonderful.
right.
The
Wonderful.
stage is yours.
Awesome.
See
Thank you
you
so
later.
much.
Bye
All
bye.
right. Yeah. Just before I start, then I want to invite all of you to close your eyes, sit comfortably. Let's relax. Let's breathe. Let's feel this good energy surrounding us. Let's feel the vibrations around us. Let's feel our body, all the energy from this and from the other dimensions surrounding and fulfilling us. We connect with our mentors, with our spiritual friends, with all the fraternities that are always guiding us, helping us walk the right path, the path of good. We connect with those hard workers that are every day trying harder and harder to help us, to help others, to help the world progress. Hands in hands, we elevate our thoughts, and along with all the heralds of Jesus on this planet, incarnate and discarnate, we then connect with our Master, with our beloved brother Jesus, and we spiritually kneel before him, thanking him for the opportunities we have to be on this planet once again, in the flesh, learning, progressing, evolving. We thank you, Master, for all your teachings, for your sacrifice, and for your love, for everything you did, everything you do, everything you will always be doing for us. And we ask you humbly that you bring us closer to the Father, our Creator, the supreme intelligence of the universe. And we connect as one today and always, Father, asking for your love and your mercy. Thank you so much. So be it. All right, so we are going to continue the conversation we had last week. So last week's talk was the start of this chapter, chapter 1. We were talking about the revelations that were brought to us by the divine mercy of God. So in this chapter 1, we learned that Jesus did not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill the truth. But then you might ask yourself, what truth is that? So the truth is that we must always work, we must progress, love, and eventually we're going to reach God. The laws of work, the laws of progress, love that Spiritism teaches us. So, of course, it doesn't happen all of a sudden, right? There's a whole process. So first, after all the instructions that humanity received throughout the centuries, there was still a true consoler that was promised by Jesus to come when we were ready. So Jesus said that. Let me just read that quickly here. That's in John chapter 14, verses 15 to 17 and 26. And Jesus said, "If you love me, keep my commandments. And I will pray for my Father, and he shall give you another consoler, that he may abide with you forever, the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it neither sees it nor knows it. But you shall know it, for it will remain with you and shall be among you. But the Consoler, who is the Holy Ghost, and whom the Father will send in my name, shall teach you all things, and bring all things that will enable you to remember everything I have said unto you." So that's what Jesus said. Despite of everything he's done for us, all his teaching, he didn't leave us alone. He, of course, he has been and will always be with us, but he also promised that in the future, one day, he wouldn't be back in flesh like he was, but we would have another consoler. And Spiritism is the promised consoler. We know, of course, as we study and read the Spirit's book, guided by so many spirits, including one of them, we're going to mention the Spirit of Truth. We know that Spiritism is a new science that came to reveal to us humans through irrefutable proof the existence and the nature of this spiritual world and its relations with the corporeal world. So it is not, maybe we thought that in the past, but Spiritism reveals that it is not something supernatural, but instead it is one of the living and active forces of nature. It is the source of an immense number of phenomena that we might not even still fully understand to this date, but because of this, sometimes we relegate to the world of fantasy and miracles, right? Despite everything we know, even us Spiritists, but especially those who don't know the doctrine yet, they might think it is something fantastic, but it's not. It is a science. And Christ mentioned this situation several times. However, much of what he said still remains intelligible. Of course, 2,000 years ago, it was even harder, but even right now, much of what he said remains intelligible, or, of course, had been wrongly interpreted, right? So humans, according to their need, they interpreted the words of Jesus the way they wanted. Maybe because of power, maybe because they were not ready yet, they didn't have knowledge. we were not just ready for that yet. When Jesus was here, he brought us a lot of knowledge in parables, but he couldn't say everything because we were not able ready to receive all of that. But Spiritism came and offered us a key by which pretty much everything can now be easily explained. So just to recap a little bit, the law of the Old Testament was personified in Moses. So this is the first part of the chapter, Moses, and over 600 laws that were meant to tame his people and prepare them for the coming of Christ. So they were still a very raw society. So that's what Moses had to do: bring some laws to tame the people, prepare them for the coming of Christ. And then the New Testament is personified in Christ. And of course, all his teachings of love. So then that was the second revelation that God provided us: Moses with his laws and Christ with his love. Of course, other peoples in the world, they were not forgotten. In many other places, Buddha, Confucius, or other religions and doctrines, they also brought teachings to people, teachings of love, teachings of peace. But there came a time when we needed more than just these teachings. Of course, I'm not saying they were not enough, they were. But now we have the capacity, the understanding to do more, to understand things more easily. So Spiritism is the third revelation of God's law. But unlike the previous ones, it is not personified by a specific individual like Moses, Jesus. Jesus never said he would be coming again in flesh and in person, or any other person would come, because Spiritism now represents the teachings that we're giving, not by one man like Moses and Jesus, but now by an egregore of spirits, right? So the spirits of truth and so many others, they are bringing that to us, right? So all these teachings that they come brought from heaven to all parts of the world that could cooperate, and this was brought to us by innumerable intermediaries that we would know as mediums. In a way of speaking, it is the collective work. Spiritism is the collective work formed by all spirits. And again, the book, and not only the book, but Spiritism itself, is presided by the Spirit of Truth. And that's the one who brings enlightenment to all humankind by offering means of understanding our world, our destiny, and the destiny that awaits each individual, right, on the return to the spiritual world. If you read the Spirit's book, you will see much of what we can expect here and on the other side, and when we come back, and the eternal life. So just as Jesus said, and he said, I have not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. So what did he mean by that? He meant that he didn't want to put people against the existing Jewish law, nor any human laws. So everything the Pharisees, for example, were teaching, it was still to be followed by that people. But something was missing in these laws. And he came to bring meekness, gentleness, and love. So he came to bring what was missing, the love that was missing, something else. One of the passages in the Gospel according to Spiritism is, give to Caesar what's Caesar's, give to God what's God. We still have to follow human law and everything from this material world, because it is a material world and there's nothing we can do about it. We're here to learn. There's a purpose. And just as in the same way, just as Christ didn't come to destroy the previous law, Spiritism did not come to destroy the Christian law, but to carry it out, to continue the teachings. It teaches absolutely nothing contrary to what was taught by Jesus Christ. Instead, Spiritism develops what Jesus was teaching us. It explains it in a way that everyone can now understand, and also completes what has been previously taught in an allegoric form by Jesus. Again, the reason was because, of course, around 2000 years ago, more or less, people didn't have enough knowledge, enough science, enough experience to understand a lot of the world. So, of course, Jesus didn't want to shock anyone. Jesus didn't want to force any new ideas. He knew that when we were ready, we would have another chance to learn again, to do more. And as we were ready, 170 approximately years ago, Kardec was the one that had the mission to bring us the doctrine. Of course, the spirits were always there. Spiritism always existed. But as a doctrine, it came to us 107 years ago as a promised doctrine, as a consoler. And it came to at the predicted time, the time of light, the 1800s, to fulfill what Christ announced, and also to prepare us for the achievement of future things, for what's to come. So it is then the work of Christ, who, as he also announced himself, he presides over the regeneration which is now taking place and which will prepare the reign of the kingdom of God here on earth. We all know that we're going through difficult times of transformation that did not start just now or a few years ago. That has been going on for decades, maybe a century, and it would still take another century or two for us to be ready to understand a lot of things. But Spiritism, again, it's one of the consolers that is here to help us with that. And even if you don't believe in Spiritism, if you don't believe in God, nobody will be forgotten. God would never do that. We always say how just, how fair God is, and everybody will have his opportunity or her opportunity to learn. I would say, and I heard that recently, that the Spiritist doctrine is like a university where you go and you can study Spiritism. So if you go to a Spiritist center, Spiritist house, or even here online, for example, through many beautiful, nice people that are trying to show the Spiritist doctrine, we can learn a lot about Spiritism. That's the Spiritist movement. And it is a university because you have to read books, you listen to people talking, and that great. That definitely helps. However, even if you don't have that chance, or if you're not ready to do it, we will learn some other way. We will all learn some other way, right? Because again, God and Jesus will not forget anyone. We've been having chances here and there, everywhere, for us to change, right? So now that we know that Spiritism came and it is a science, it is also a religion. It is also a philosophical doctrine. And when Kardec started 170-ish years ago, Spiritism was first seen as a science. And what is a science, right? Is when we think of science, we think just a lab, chemistry, right? But science, according to a dictionary or a grammar definition, it is the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation, experimentation, and the testing of theories against the evidence obtained. So wasn't it what Kardec was doing? Observing, experimenting, testing theories. And of course, he was writing notes. He was using different methods of information, collection of information. So he was doing that as a science, observing the natural world, and then learning about the spirit world, the spiritual world, which is the main one, the one that exists, even if our doesn't. And then later on, Spiritism was seen as a religion. In most places, it's still mostly a religion, right? And what is religion? Religion can be considered as a wide range of social or cultural systems, including some designated behaviors, practices, morals, beliefs, worldviews, texts, any sanctified places, prophecies, ethics, or even organizations. And these generally relate us to something supernatural, transcendental, and spiritual. So that's what is considered in general religion. And isn't Spiritism all of that? As a science, we study and we have to agree with reason, right? So science and religion are the two levers of human intelligence. One, science, reveals the law of the material world, and the other, religion, reveals those of the moral world. But seeing that these laws have the same principle, which is God, they cannot and they do not contradict themselves. So sometimes you might think, oh, if I believe in God, I cannot believe in science. If I believe in science, I cannot have any kind of faith and believe in something that I can't prove through science. So they do not contradict themselves. If they contradict one another, it would stand to reason that one was right and the other was wrong. But God could not have intended the destruction of his own work, because God is science, God is religion, God is philosophy, God is everything. And then there would be an incompatibility. So therefore, this incompatibility is apparent, right? So only apparently this would exist, the contradiction between these ideas. And they prove that they maybe that happened because they have been incorrectly interpreted, right? Due to excessive exclusiveness on both sides. So I am a man of science and I only like science. I only respect science, blinded to anything else. And the same thing with religion. I'm a religious person, religious man, and why should I believe science? Science is wrong. Maybe we interpret it in different ways, and in so many ways, actually, throughout the centuries, right? For so many reasons, political reasons, power, man interpreted science and or religion the way they wanted. So for this reason, we have a conflict which has given rise to incredulity and intolerance, right? So that's the result of this conflict between the two. And that is the idea that that would be the idea that one fights against the other for the truth. Who knows the truth? Who has the truth? It's just science? Is it just religion? No, they can both work together. We now have more recently, and still more to come, we have now reached a phase upon this planet when the teachings of Jesus must be completed. And the intentional veil cast over some parts of this teachings are lifted. We are seeing that recently when we study the universe, when we study the element of everything, we understand that there is something we don't understand yet if we just consider science. And when we study religion, when we apply religion, sometimes it doesn't make sense because the reason proves us wrong. Science proves us wrong. So why not mix the two of them? Why not consider what's good in science and what's good in religion and put them together? So a time when science must desist from its exclusive materialism and take into consideration a spiritual element. And religion must cease to ignore the organic and immutable law of matter, so that both may become two forces, each leaning toward the other and advancing together in the mutual concourse. So when that happens, and I would say that will happen maybe sooner than later, we can't predict yet, but that has been happening slowly, of course. But when that happens, religion will no longer be discredited by science and will no longer be able to oppose to the overwhelming logic of the facts, because it will be in agreement with reason. So science and religion could not come together until now, as they could not see matters according to their exclusive point of views, which in turn caused they to reciprocally repel each other so far. But Spiritism came as something more, something that needed to enable them to close the gap that separated them. Spiritism came as this a key, as we mentioned before, that was opening the door to all the doors, and all the doors lead to the same room. Something that united everything. So the missing link is contained in the knowledge of the laws that govern the spiritual universe that we see in the Spirit's book, for example, and that explains the relationship of the spiritual world with the world of matter, with the whole universe. And these laws, they are immutable. They do not change, as those that govern the planet and the existence of all beings, right? So everything is governed. Jesus is the governor of our planet, and the laws we have here, the laws of progress, the laws of work, the laws of love, they're the same for everyone, everyone in the universe, for all creation. So once this relationship could be proved by experiments, just like Kardec did, a new light, and of course there's more to come, a new light would begin to shine as faith begin to be directed towards reason. And reason, finding nothing illogical in faith. So it could finally defeat materialism. So as we can see, they complement each other. And just like many other issues, there are always people who remain behind until the wave of progress drags them. And there's nothing they can do about it, because the progress is here for everyone. We're all gonna be progressing. We're all gonna be following the law of progress that governs the universe, whether we like it or not. And if we choose to resist, maybe this movement, we're eventually gonna be crushed. The wave is gonna take us, and it's gonna take us to maybe places we don't like, but that's because we're fighting against it, against this progress, against science, against religion. And after so many centuries long preparation, and it has lasted more than 1800 years, right? When we received the Consoler, the Spiritism. Now a moral revolution is in progress. We all see intellectual, technical, technological evolution everywhere, especially since the past century. But there's also a very strong moral revolution going on. And this revolution is operated and directed by spirits, Spirit of Truth, and so many others. As humanity, we reach the climax of our potentialities, and we are marching towards a new era. So it is, just so I can finalize, it is an era of inevitable changes in social relations that are determined by God. And they derive, as I said again, from the law of progress, which is God's law. So that's what we need to understand. Spiritism came as a new tool, just like many others. It's not the only one. It is another tool, an important one, a beautiful one that brings science, religion, and philosophy together. So that's the Consoler promised by Jesus, and that is going to be with us today and always. It's going to be with us forever, guiding us towards this new era. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Rodrigo. I wish you all a great night. Of course, I'm still going to be here for a few minutes, right, asking for the questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you kindly, my friend, for giving your time once
You're
again.
welcome.
That was a beautiful talk.
Sure.
And we do have a few questions. Let me bring them up. There we go. From our brother Villar. Do you think Spiritism is also misunderstood and we still do not comprehend its teachings?
Well, Spiritism as a science, like so many others, is sometimes misunderstood, of Of course, Jesus was misunderstood in all his teachings, but they were clear. And Spiritism is, I would say, Spiritism is very clear in what it says and what it brings us. Maybe it is misunderstood because we're not ready yet to learn what it's teaching us, everything that it teaches us, because it teaches us, it taught us a lot. It's still teaching us, and it's still going to be teaching us for a long time. Kardec said that he just started his job, and then there would be so many more people to come and continue what he's doing. That's what we see today. There are spiritist centers everywhere. There's thousands of books that are published, and hopefully they will continue. I know we will. We all know we will, right? There's nothing that again can stop the progress. As I said, there will be so many people. There are so many people that are against the progress and they're fighting against it. But when the progress comes, when the evolution, when the transformation of this world comes, there's nothing that can stop it. And then whether we like it or not, it's going to come. And if we're not ready, as we know, there's action and reaction for our choices, for our actions. But we know not everybody's ready. Not everybody is walking in the same pace. Maybe some people will take a little longer. And when they're ready, they will understand not only Spiritism, but the message it brings.
I think you have just answered the following question from Publio. Is
Yeah,
everyone prepared to accept the third revelation, Spiritism?
yeah, we know that unfortunately not everyone is prepared to understand that. As I said, nobody. Some people are just not ready to accept that we must progress. That Jesus already told us thousands of years ago what we had to do, and because we were still stubborn, we made a lot of mistakes. But again, he never forget, none of us, right? He's still going to be among us all the time in his thoughts, with his love, and everyone one day will be ready to accept this love and the light of God.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend, once again.
You are very welcome. Thank you so
God
much for
bless
having
you.
me. Yeah, I'll be glad to come back.
See you next time, my friend. All right. And now we will be preparing for tonight's spiritual treatment. Pass is the transfusion of spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, emotional, and mental balance. Passes help us restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with healthy, positive energy. And in order to receive the best benefits from passes, please follow the audio instructions or just remain in prayer. You may close your eyes if that helps you. And during the pass, by the way, the water you set aside will also absorb the spiritual energy that you and your entire family can benefit from. And now we will make a prayer in preparation for the pass, and this is going to be our closing prayer as well. So, once again, I ask you to close your eyes and visualize Jesus, high spirits, the Virgin Mary. Oh, Father, thank you again for the opportunity to study your gospel together. Thank you for the time donated by our brother Lucas, for his preparation, his commitment, for the spiritual food he served us today from your hands. from your gospel. Father, I ask you to bless his home, his family, his life. Thank you for the patrons of this group, for their continuous support, because they are with us every week. And not only in this work, in this particular project, but in the course and other activities of this group. Thank you for your trust in our imperfect hands, dear brothers. Help us to grow towards Jesus. Help us be a little better day after day. Help us to deserve this work, this service in your vineyard. We also ask you, Father, to bless every single person who left their names in our vibration list. Give them the strength they need to overcome their challenges, health, peace, understanding, faith. O Jesus, blessed is your name. Be with us now and always. Amen.
Let's get ready for the pass and water fluidification. Please get a container with clean water to be fluidified. Brothers and sisters, it does not matter where you are, what type of hardships you are going through. Jesus is always ready to come and help us. Place yourself in a comfortable position which can make it easy for you to reach concentration and receptiveness. Breathe slowly and easily. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Fill up your lungs with air and let it out very slowly. Let tranquility and peace energies penetrate your lungs and move throughout your body. Your soul in harmony with your body feels easy and in peace. Let's imagine Jesus' passage. A clear day, the sun's golden rays illuminate the happy passage in Capharnaum. A lot of white houses, multicolored vines, and hopping birds fill the landscape with optimism. The news about cures attracted the crowd in need. Suddenly, Jesus appears slim and handsome. His tunic was hanging down to his feet. At sunset, all those with sick people hit by several illnesses would bring them, and as he placed his hands over each one, he would heal them. This is what Luke the evangelist says. Let's imagine Jesus approaching you. He holds his friendly hands over our head. Notice that from his generous hands, a waterfall with clear and pure water originated from his love come to bathe you. It flows on your head, goes down your shoulders, bathe all your being, and brings you peace, serenity, and balance. They remove all impurities and pacify you. Feel the water bathing you, cleaning. Breathe. Now, imagine Jesus as a sun before you. His light, His warmth surrounds you. Feel the healing energy that comes from Jesus towards you. He hears your prayers. Trust Him. His love is endless and it follows you and protects you. It provides you with everything you need. Have faith. Absorb the healing energy from Jesus. His light surrounds you. Feel the energy going through all your body. Feel stronger and in peace. Lord Jesus, our divine friend, reach out your generous hands, Lord, and change this water into medicine for our physical and spiritual illnesses. Protect us, Jesus, with your peace. Spread those vibrations of love throughout my home, Lord. May peace, health, and tranquility reign here. We are very grateful to you, Jesus. Stay with us today and forever. Thank God. Please remember to use the fluidified water.
And thank you again for joining us tonight. Thank you for Marceli and for Publio as well. And we'll be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Conference Americas at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. And don't forget to follow Spiritism Canada on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, in the Spiritist group Path of Light on Facebook as well. You all have a wonderful night. God bless you.
Wherever you are, glowing seeds of love, as our Master Jesus taught. You will see that behind every sight there's a flame shining bright, tiny spark created by God. I will follow your path, Father, 'cause nobody's alone in life, and the scars of my destiny will be healed by your love. Disseminate wherever